In today's video, we'll be going over a brand new survival game being released on the PlayStation 4 tomorrow, and we've actually got some live gameplay that was shown off at a developer live stream. Also, if you're one of those people that thinks single-player games might be on their way out, a big-name director wants to have a word with you, and we also are going to round out the video by going over some really solid game deals. We always like to take a look at those, so stay tuned for that. First, there's a brand new survival game releasing tomorrow on the PlayStation 4 in Conan Exiles. This was a game that released on PC in the form of an early access version. Unfortunately, at launch it had quite a bit of issues, but that was 16 months ago, and since then the game has gotten a lot of updates and it's become a lot better. Well, now it's releasing on the PlayStation 4 tomorrow. It's releasing as a full version, and the developers over at Funcom actually held a dev stream a few days ago going over some of the gameplay, and they showed off some live PlayStation 4 gameplay, and surprisingly, the game was running very smoothly based on what we saw. Hopefully the entirety of the game is like that. Survival games do tend to be a little bit hit or miss, especially from a technical standpoint, but based on what we saw in that live stream, and we'll put a link in the description box down below which fast forwards right to the PS4 gameplay, it was running pretty smoothly. And in that live stream, they also recapped the last 15 months of game development. They said it's a period of both highs and lows of bug and exploit fixes, new features, 50 updates, and a ton of work and improvements. They're obviously very proud of what they've done, but they did also mention that they are not done yet. In that live stream, they also take some viewer questions, so a lot of insight on Conan Exiles, a game that personally I wasn't too excited for to see a PlayStation 4 release, but after seeing that gameplay, maybe not a title I'll be picking up at full price, but down the line on a sale, for sure a game that I will check out. The game itself is a survival game in the prehistoric age, and your character is convicted of various crimes, sentenced to death, and are crucified under the scorching desert sun. You're rescued by Conan, however, and as an exile, you need to navigate the harsh desert landscape appropriately, and you need to survive in that harsh world. As far as progression goes, you get XP through combat, gathering, and crafting, and you actually get XP through the passing of time. It doesn't have a typical class system, but it does have a lot of customization, so you can craft your character exactly how you want to. Again, Conan Exiles will be released on the PlayStation 4 full version tomorrow, May 8th. Hopefully, the entirety of the game runs as well as we saw in the video. Moving on from that, there's been a lot of debate on whether or not single-player games are on their way out. We've seen games like Fortnite take the gaming world by storm, and of course, that's a multiplayer-centric game, but we've also seen single-player games recently have mass success. You look at a game like God of War, that's one of the most successful games of the year. And speaking of God of War, director Cory Barlog spoke to IGN in the wake of the game's success and talked about his opinions on single-player games. I think you could come to a conclusion on what Cory Barlog thinks, but let's take a look at the quote. Quote, "Single-player games are the phoenix at this point. We go through the ebb and flow, games change by the different creatives that get involved and say, I have this crazy idea." On top of that, Cory Barlog did state he has 5 God of War games mapped out in his head, and yes, while God of War Ascension did feature a multiplayer component, I'm sure at no point within those 5 games is multiplayer going to be the core fixture of God of War. That's just not going to happen. And after the release of God of War Ascension, we didn't even see multiplayer as a part of this latest God of War title. Single player is really where Sony Santa Monica Studio shines, and I'm not saying that multiplayer gaming is not a profitable environment. Of course it is. We've seen some absolute juggernauts that primarily focus in multiplayer. Call of Duty, Battlefield. Again, Battle Royale titles like Fortnite and PUBG more recently. However, gaming always thrives as a diverse ecosystem, providing a different kind of experience for everybody because everybody has different tastes, and single-player gaming is always going to be something a lot of gamers are going to be attracted to. How about this crazy idea? Some gamers might even play multiplayer and single-player games. Who would have thought of that idea? We don't have to be exclusively focused on one. We can experience both styles of play. And I think the majority of developers and publishers understand that. However, there is this notion coming across, so it's good once in a while to dispel that. And finally, I do want to take a look at some pretty good PlayStation 4 deals available right now. We uploaded a video yesterday going over 10 physical deals available right now, so if you want more deals, check that video out, but a couple more deals have been posted. Quite like this deal on Gundam Versus over on Amazon. It is $14 off down to $26. If you're a fan of Gundam, this is an okay game. The Gundam games aren't known for immense quality. You really have to be a fan to enjoy these games because they are a little bit rough around the edges. This one particularly does have quite a bit of a learning curve to it, but if you're a fan of Gundam, $26 isn't a bad price, and this is a somewhat recent release that doesn't go on sale all too often, so not a bad deal there. If you're interested in getting the Sims experience on PlayStation 4, The Sims 4 is $20 off over at Best Buy, and of course with Best Buy, if you're a GCU subscriber, you'll enjoy an additional 20% off $24 for The Sims 4 ain't bad. I should note that the PlayStation 4 version isn't absolutely perfect. It is missing some stuff from the PC version and doesn't make a perfect transition, but if you want that Sims experience on the PS4, this title just released in November of last year, so a little under 6 months ago, and already $24. It released at $50, so that's a pretty deep discount. So check that out as well. And that is going to conclude this video. Let us know your thoughts. Do you have any interest in Conan Exiles, or have you been turned off from the survival game experience? It seemed like for a while survival games were really going to take over, and then we kind of had Battle Royale take over that throne, but Conan Exiles still looks like a pretty solid title, and the PS4 version is shaping up pretty nicely. It is being released tomorrow. What do you think about Cory Barlog saying that single-player games are the phoenix at this point? That's quite a lofty statement. I don't know if single-player games are the top money draw in the gaming environment, but they definitely have a place. And with the tremendous success of God of War, we can obviously see that. And make sure to check out those 2 PS4 game deals. Gundam Versus, for those of you that are into Gundam, $26 ain't a bad price. And then The Sims 4 is down to $24 with GCU at Best Buy. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.